Anthony Hartwig here with a Canfield softball player profile. I am joined by sophomore Sammy Economist. Sammy, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today.
Thank you for having me.
So this Canfield team has a lot of players that were there last year, made a big impact, but they're also players like you who are stepping into much bigger roles and having kind of your first taste of consistent varsity action. So from your perspective, what's this year been like being your first taste of all the action?
It's been so much fun. Definitely big shoes that I had to fill from last year, but you know, it's been a great experience. I've had so much fun getting closer with all the girls and just playing softball.
When you think of the players that you got to learn from last year as a freshman and the things that you were able to soak in, what kind of things did last year's seniors, the holes that you had to fill this year, what kind of things did they teach you about what to expect this year at the varsity level?
They definitely taught me a lot about hard work and dedication. Last year they were always there, they were always teaching us, and I feel like I learned a lot from them.
Okay, now that they're graduated, who's someone this year that you think has specifically taken you under their wing and kind of guided you through everything that you have to go through during a whole varsity season?
Macy Kalina, she's always been there for me, and I mean, I've learned so much from her this year, all year, from basketball into softball season, and it's just been a lot of fun.
Did you get any like major forms of advice from her or someone else on the team that really stuck with you throughout the year?
She's always taught me to just kind of push through everything and always do my best, but honestly, all the girls have done that.
Not only have you stepped into this big role, but you're in the third base, you're in the hot corner. I mean, balls get hit to you in a hurry. What's that been like, first year on the team and here you come as a third baseman playing the hot corner?
I've played third base my whole life, so I'm kind of always used to it, I guess you could say. So it's kind of been just like how it normally has. But the only difference is I'm playing behind Milena, which she's such an amazing pitcher. So a lot of action doesn't come, but when it does, I'm always ready.
Yeah, I want to talk about that. What's it like trying to stay engaged and locked in on defense when you have Melina Toth who is striking out, 16, 17 batters per game and there's a lot of, lulls where you're not seeing a ball for a long time.
Honestly, I just love watching her pitch. So just being able to watch her and see all the different pitches she throws just makes it so much fun and keeps me engaged throughout every inning.
One of the things that comes with all the success this team has had is a lot of attention. This is probably not the last interview that you'll have this week leading up to state, and you guys have been, followed in practice. I've seen media at practice. What's it like to deal with all the hoopla leading up to state on Friday?
Honestly, you kind of just have to block it out at sometimes because at in the end of the day, like we're just here playing softball and we're trying to win a state championship. So it's a lot of fun getting all the recognition and just kind of everyone watching us. But we're just here to play a game. So
Since this is our first time catching up with you, why don't you tell us about your softball journey, when you started the sport and when you started to fall in love with it and realize it was something that not only did you just play for fun, but it was something that you wanted to take seriously and put a lot of time into?
I've played softball for 10, 12 years now. So I've been playing it for a while. But honestly, I started loving it when I was really young. And it's always been like my number one sport. So I've always kind of fallen back to it, even if I've tried other things.
Do you know what it was about it that made you fall in love with it? Was there a certain aspect of the game that you caught on to early?
Um, Honestly, I've loved every aspect of it. There's not just one that has stood out more than others. So I think just as a whole, it's really been my favorite.
Now, there's a lot of feelings in softball. There's, the big hit, the big defensive play. What's your favorite feeling of the sport gives you?
I love just being able to be there and make big plays, but also it's the best feeling when you get that big hit, you're helping out your team, and everyone's just kind of cheering for you. So
This schedule that you guys have has exposed you to a lot of high level pitchers. Now, I don't know what kind of pitchers you see in the off season and travel and such in the summer, but what's it been like this year on this level, seeing all the great pitchers that are in front of you and preparing you for this round in the state?
this year, definitely, I've seen a lot more pitchers that have thrown different, like going from super fast, having a lot of movement. So it's been an adjustment, but it's been really fun being able to try and adjust and talking to all my teammates and seeing like what we see when we go up to the plate and everyone just kind of helping each other out.
I mean, you get one of the best pitchers in the state during practice to throw you live BP. How much does that help you being able to, hey, Molina, why don't you come, throw us 65 and see if we can catch up to you, then we can catch up to anybody.
It definitely helps seeing like a faster pitcher and, honestly, even her input talking about like from her pitches that she throws at practice, like just explaining it to us and trying to help us out, that helps a lot too.
All right, so this break that you guys have between regionals and state, and even between districts and regionals, is a lot longer than you have during the regular season when you're playing 4 or 5 games a week and you really don't have time to breathe. What's it like being able to get back into practice a couple of days in a row, tighten some things and really work on some things, and have this kind of break between the last game and the next game?
I feel like it has helped us, even though it may not seem like it. A big break has helped us because we've been able to really like digest everything that's happening and even like relax a little bit and just kind of play our game and be able to prepare for it.
That being said, as the Friday gets closer, does the anticipation start building and building and building inside like you wish Friday was here now?
Yeah, I definitely wish it had come sooner. I'm very excited for it. So, you know,
What's going to be your mindset going into this game? We talked about how it's your first year with a big varsity level, a lot of varsity experience. So it's your first time playing on this field and being in this game. What's your mindset?
I'm just there to help my team out any way I can, from making any play that comes my way to getting a big hit or even just a little base hit. Just there to help them out.
I want to bring up Coach Kernan, who's one of the more highly respected coaches in the area. So good at developing talent and growing people in the game. What have you been able to learn and grow in this year, especially this year, I should say, under Coach Kernan?
Coach Kernan has helped me out a lot this year, I would say. We've definitely built a bond. Um, just like he's kind of helped out with like little tweaks here and there and technique. And definitely he's motivated me a lot this year to really push myself and be the best I can.
What part of your game do you think you would give him the credit for having the most growth in, as far as this year?
I say probably my swing. He's helped me out a little bit here and there, just kind of tweaking it, making it better, and really helping me adjust, especially to like different pitches and everything. So he's really helped me out with that.
Maybe people don't know this if all they do is watch the games or if they're coaching against him and they don't only see his competitive side, but Coach Grenade can get kind of goofy. We've seen him last year's state game putting the visor on backwards, trying to get the rally cap going. He gets involved with the antics that you guys like to do. He's photo bombing interviewers when they're being interviewed by media. What's it like to have a coach that kind of feeds into the looseness and the fun of softball?
I love it personally. I mean, from his jokes to honestly just being overall just like a funny person, it really helps me like be more relaxed, definitely. And I think the whole team can agree with that. It just keeps everything a lot more relaxed and we're all happier.
How would you describe his sense of humor? You're saying he's bringing out the jokes. What kind of sense of humor does he have?
Oh wow. He has, I think they're good jokes, but they're definitely like dad joke type style and it just makes it so funny. I love it. We start out practice that way a lot of the time, so it really just keeps a good vibe going throughout the entire day.
Okay, one thing we know about Canfield softball is the snacks are abundant. You have a whole area of the dugout completely dedicated to snacks. What's your favorite in the snack bag? What are you going to?
Every single day, I'll get a goldfish before practice. It's always my go-to, and I love it. But Gretchen always keeps the best snacks in there. So
Yeah, with so many choices, if we asked every softball player this too, if you had to choose one and that was the only thing you could have for the rest of your softball career, would it be those goldfish or would you go somewhere else?
wow, I really don't know. I mean, yeah, I'd probably agree. It would be the goldfish. I don't know. I just really love them.
Are we talking OG goldfish or is there a specific new flavor that you like?
The OG goldfish are probably one of my favorites, but also the extra cheddar. I just love them both.
There you go. I want to talk also about walk-up songs. Canfield gets them, so you guys get one too. What's your walk-up song, and what does it say about you?
This year, I actually couldn't decide on my walk-up song for the longest time. So my friend Sid, she really helped me out. She picked out the song 23. So that's kind of been my walk-up song, and I've just stuck with it because it kind of is like superstitious at this point, and I kind of just have to keep it for the rest of the season. And I honestly love it.
What do you think it says? Like, does it match your personality? You think?
Yeah, I kind of think it does. It's kind of not, it's kind of loud and out there in a way. So yeah, it definitely matches my personality, and it's just kind of fun.
Now let's talk about your personal playlist too, like pre-game playlist, songs you listen to really hype you up and get you in the right mental mindset.
Wow. It really depends. A lot of the times, like going to the games, I have like one specific playlist I'll listen to a lot of the time, and it has like Drake, Kanye, and it's like my go-to most of the time. But sometimes I'll throw on some country, so it really
Mhm.
depends.
Yeah, does your hype up playlist differ than like everyday playlist? Like, do you have songs that are dedicated just for pre-game that you probably wouldn't listen to outside of that, or is it like you like that music all the time?
I like that music all the time, honestly. So it's not really that different.
All right, we're gonna hit you with some more rapid fire questions. Get to know you a little bit off the field. My first one is sunrise or sunset, morning or evening. Which one are you more of?
Definitely sunset or evening.
When you think of your favorite restaurant to go out and eat to, what do you got?
Ooh, that's a hard one. It honestly depends on my mood. But I love Nicolini's and I love Stonebridge.
All right, so when we're talking about Stonebridge and Nicolini's, both places where you can go get pretty good Italian food, what's your go-to order?
Pasta Giada is my go-to order at Nicolini's.
All
So
right, so
yeah.
let's talk about if you had to have one dessert for the rest of your life. We talked about dugout snacks, but now we're
Mhm.
talking that sweet tooth, that dessert. What are you getting?
Cheesecake, 100%.
Mm. What about dream car? Do you have a dream car? Like if money wasn't an issue and you could go and buy anything you wanted, do you have a car that you would go to?
It changes every day in my head. So right now it's probably a Bronco, but I don't know.
So
It
if we
changes.
asked you tomorrow, it might be completely different.
Yeah.
Do you have a color? Do you have like a favorite car color that you would go to with that Bronco?
Probably like a dark gray.
Awesome, awesome. Okay. Favorite vacation spot that you've been to?
Ocean Isle in North Carolina.
What about a vacation dream spot that you haven't been to yet that you'd like to go to?
Hawaii.
Ooh, that's good. Tropical. I'm sensing a lot of tropical vibes.
Yeah.
Let's talk about books or movies. You like books or movies better?
Movies.
Do you have like a favorite movie or a favorite genre, maybe, if you can't narrow it down to one movie?
I love the movie Anyone But You, but I also
Mm.
love comedies, so
Do you have like a binge movie or a movie that you've seen 100 times that you always can just turn on in the background?
not really. No.
What was the last TV show that you streamed on Netflix?
Hmm. I don't know.
It's been a
Not
while,
really.
right? Softball season
Yeah.
keeps you busy. It's understandable. What teammate do you think you text the most?
It's between Sofia Castronova, Brooke Luchinsky, and Kaylee Ortiz.
All right, I want to talk about your family. Talk about what makes them so unique and special to you, and how much they support you, and what you think is so special about them.
My family definitely supports me so much with everything I do. We're very like um, sports like into it kind of family. So it's definitely very fun playing, and they support me all the time. I love seeing them at every single one of my games, and they're always just people I could look up to.
With a very sports centered family, like how competitive do you guys get with each other? Even if it's like small things, family game night or backyard sports, how competitive does it get in your household?
Oh, so competitive. Every single one of us are very competitive. None of us like losing, so it definitely is very intense.
What do you guys get the most competitive about? Like what's the one thing that will always fire those competitive juices in your bodies?
Honestly, it's anything. It could just be like I'm trying to think. There was something yesterday where we were all very competitive over. I can't really remember, but it could be anything such as like ping pong or like being the first to name something, just honestly anything.
You brought up ping pong, and I hear that Canfield has a pretty good pickleball group. People like to play pickleball on your team. Are you one of those players? Do you like to go to the pickleball court and play with your
I
teammates?
Yeah, I've played a few times. I'm really excited for summer to play more, but yeah, it's very fun.
If can
Everyone's so
if
into it.
can If Canfield had a varsity pickleball team and it wasn't in the spring, you think you'd go out for it? You think you'd try your luck at pickleball?
100%. Yeah.
All
I
right,
think
before we let
honestly
you
most of
go,
the girls would.
yeah, I think so too. The interviews we've had, they've all said yes to that question. Before we let you go, we've talked about your family, but if you have anyone else you want to shout out, anyone else that you want to thank for supporting you throughout your career, I want to give you the chance to do so now.
All of my coaches all the way up, but specifically Coach Kernan, Coach Barb, Coach Durkin, Coach Red, and Coach CJ. They definitely have helped me a lot this year, and I want to thank them.
All right, Sammy, we want to thank you so much for taking the time to join us. We appreciate it. Want to wish you the best of luck in the state tournament. We hope that you win the big trophy this year, and we can't wait to talk to you again real soon.
Thank you.